David Stark here with Resilient Living, where it's our mission to keep your heart beating and family eating for as long as possible, no matter the circumstances. Today we're going to be talking about survival gear and community building and just having the ability to keep your family safe if 911 is not available. So a few days ago, this little guy decided to stop breathing for about 30 seconds, and it was a really scary thing. We called 911, and there was a fire truck and an ambulance here within minutes, and it was really nice to have that option. But what if that option was never here, or it just took too long? And a lot of people showed up with these advanced medical bags. And by the time that everyone got here, there's about 8 or 9 people in our house with a variety of skills and several bags full of instruments and materials and medical supplies that I don't know how to use, but I'm glad that are there ready for us. All right, so I handed baby off to mom for feeding and nap time, but today we're going to be reviewing the Lightning Products bag that we got on Amazon. There's a lot of survival gear here for the medical supplies, and we're going to look through it and do some assessment. So this bag comes with everything in a separate box, and so you need to unpack it, and everything has its own individual boxes, and so eventually you need to take it out and put it into the bigger medical bag. But not too long ago I got a really bad cut on my finger, and my medical supplies were just in a big tub, and it was hard to find what I needed, and so I'm going to actually do some better organizing and customizing so I can actually use the stuff that I know how to use and get to it quickly. So one thing about these medical supplies is that I don't know how to use some of these things. I actually consulted my sister, who is a nurse, and she showed me how to use some of them and what they're for. If you ever have smoke inhalation to a point where you need pure oxygen, it's nice to have one of those on hand. And yeah, this stuff is absolutely a life-saving potential, but if you're not trained, then a lot of this stuff is really useless to you. And so that's why we actually want to talk more about how to start recruiting for your survival team, because if you had a doctor or nurse who was going to be coming to your house when a disaster happened, they would know how to use some of this stuff, where all you really, have your training ability is, basic first aid, just cuts and scrapes and things like that. But when it's a major thing, bullet wounds or, things that could really be life-ending, it's nice to have some of the more advanced medical gear on hand so that the trained professional on your team can actually use it. And so this is one of those things that's a good place to start, and just having some of this more advanced stuff for your team. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how to grow your team. But I think that as far as this bag goes, it was a really good purchase, and there's a lot of good stuff in here that would be nice to have, having the ability to hear your heartbeat or take your blood pressure, or breathing masks, and a lot of some of that stuff that would be hard to get one at a time, which would actually make it quite a bit more expensive. So these combined bags actually make it a lot more efficient for you to get what you need. So it's nice to have one of these bags for everything to be in one place and easy to transport. And so we will put the affiliate link in the description below this video. We're also going to put some links to the other things that you need to either upgrade this, and also for stuff that you will need to replenish, like gauze and things like that, that once you use up, you won't have more. So it's good to be able to replenish those things. Okay, now we're going to talk a bit more specifically about how to start building your survival team, because one of the most important aspects of survival is having a group of people that you trust with a variety of skills. And today we're talking more specifically on the medical side, because there's a lot of things out there that will be trying to kill you, and there's a lot of people also out there who have the skills, who are nurses and doctors and EMTs, and a lot of these people who have the training and probably are not in a survival group. They never even really think about it. Most people don't think about this stuff, And so we recommend that you start speaking with people, just asking what their plans are, and getting to know some people with different skills, and finding out if they're trustworthy, and discovering who might be on your team, and then approaching them, asking them bluntly at some point, saying, hey, we're starting a survival community. Do you want to be a part of it? And we've been building a community here, and we've tried a lot of different ways of talking to people, because you don't want to give away too much at the beginning. And oftentimes people are like, well, if a disaster's coming, I'm going to your house, but we don't want that. So being strategic about how you say things is important, but also not pushing it off until the disaster happens and you have no community or plan. And so we've actually tried contracts where, because people are wondering, are they going to just come and then eat all of our supplies and not contribute? And so, but contracts are kind of scary to people, signing this dotted line for, your life and your family. And so it really is up to you if you want to, make sure that you have some kind of a legal binding contract, or at least, on somebody's honor, which doesn't go as far as it used to once upon a time, but at very least in your survival community, you should have everybody fill out some kind of a form that says if they have any food allergies, or what their skills are, or how they need to unwind, or any kind of medical conditions that need to be known, just so the community can better work as a team and have that information on hand just within your own community. And then also it's good to consider, growing this community right now, and also getting together right now. And so our community, we've been getting together at least once a month just to work on a project together, whether it be, chickens or gardening, or just cleaning up the property, or just having conversations, just having meetings, talking about scenarios and plans and all those things. And so that's really important, and actually really kind of fun, because when you guys have a common goal, something you're working towards, it really helps people feel more accomplished in life when they're a part of something bigger. And I think that's something that's definitely lacking in our country, is having feeling like you belong. And we all want to belong to something. And when the world falls apart, you'll be very glad you belong to a survival community that has a plan, has supplies, and has a place to go. And something we definitely recommend that you get is what we call a bunker box, where you just get a tote and fill it with any amount of things that are for your personal use to wherever your bug out location is. So clothes for you, any comfort items, medications, stuff that is vital for you, if that fits you, and have that at wherever, if it's your friend's house or your bug out location, just so that when you get there, you'll have a change of clothes, and also start storing some of your food there, and getting also the supplies in one place. And so this is how we really recommend that you become more resilient, is getting some survival supplies like this bag, and getting people who know how to use some of the more advanced medical supplies, and then having that peace of mind that when anything does come about that is catastrophic, that you have a team to rely upon.